don't know what to say. Somebody help me. Thank you.
Oh man, I hear you, but it happens that way sometimes. But hey, anyway. But again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there for sure.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, 100%, Trent. I'm with you on that, and I'm also with the news. We have the news here from this Hell We Call Earth news, Trent, and man, oh man, a lot of politics going on, but this is the politics I'm talking about. Why do we leave this stuff out? There's war and famine and so many horrible things going on in the world. But this is the politics we should be talking about, Trent. Are you aware that the bodyguards of Russian President Vladimir Putin collect his fecal matter?
No.
It's true. His fecal matter, as if they're Magic the Gathering cards or something. No, I'm just kidding.
That's freaky, man. That's wild.
And they traded and everything. No, yeah, but they're collecting his fecal matter and urine to dispose of it in case it's somehow his poop winds up in the wrong hands and people can find out what his health conditions are if they're poor, which I'm assuming they are now. Since we're worried about people finding the poop,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would think so. Just finding the feces, it's awful.
Trent, that's the reason they give. Like, oh, they don't want the enemy or his poop and his urine to fall into the wrong hands. I think because they can find out if he's sick or something. But I think there are other possible explanations here. One would be that they actually believe his urine and poop has magical powers.
Really?
And they're creating a super weapon made of Putin's excrement. It's possible.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that. It's just it's possible. All right, that's all I'm saying.
I mean,
I don't know what to say about that.
I guess anything is.
It's just a theory, Trent. You don't have to kill it. You don't have to.
I'm not killing it. I'm just sitting here in stupefied disbelief. Because I've never heard anything like that. But
you gotta sometimes. It's something that should be considered magical poop. It could be a weapon. I'm just saying. Think about it.
Yep.
There are just so many different reasons why they could be collecting his urine and his poop, aside from the fact I think that you might find out he's sick or something, could be used as a weapon. What can I tell you?
Oh, what can I tell you? I don't know.
But why aren't we talking about that? I'm just saying I'm not hearing that anywhere except for on Super Radio Brothers.
I know it's not in the national news. I have not seen anything about it on Fox News Tonight or CBS or CNN, whatever.
Vladimir Putin's walking around, and dudes are collecting his poop. That's kind of weird. I'm just saying that's not normal.
Well, that's what we're meant for. We're meant for the wacky and the weird, and nobody likes. Not many people like to report on the wacky and the weird, but it happens.
I guess I just feel like this should be reported on CNN or something. This is
it really should. Absolutely.
This is top news here that you get on the Super Radio Brothers. So you're welcome. How about this one, Trent? Mortified dad left to clean very big poo in a B&Q after his 4-year-old son uses the display toilet. So I guess he went there with his family, and his son had to go, and surrounded by toilets in the toilet section, and just poops in one of the toilets. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is. That's,
Did you ever poop in a department store toilet? In the display aisle?
I mean, not in the display aisle, but I mean, I've had to, I've had to go to the restroom in the department store, but I don't go into the display aisle. I go in the actual bathroom.
Oh, how did that work out?
I mean, it came out okay, I think.
Oh, all right. You don't remember any details, but no, it's crazy because I think about it, and I've never done something like that, but to me, it kind of reminds me of were you ever around a fountain, or it started raining, or you hear water dripping, and then all of a sudden you have to pee?
Yes, I have heard. Yes, absolutely.
I think what this kid experienced was something similar to that, where he saw all these toilets and he said, my goodness, I have to poop now. And what a perfect opportunity, because I'm surrounded by all of these wonderful, new looking, sparkling toilets. Let me bless this toilet, with its inaugural poop. Can you still sell that toilet, you think? Are they able to still, hey, we cleaned it. Is that on the clearance rack? You ask question, why is this toilet so much cheaper than the other ones? But hey, you go for it. It's clearance.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I would.
I mean, if that toilet was $40 less than the original price, Trent, would you buy it knowing that? Someone pooped in it?
Yeah, you get a discount on the toilet. That sounds good.
I mean, you always. Bottom line is you're always pooping on toilets that somebody else pooped on. It's just the nature of life.
If I'm in the house, and we have, let's say you're in a house that has 2 bathrooms, every occupant in the house is going to use both bathrooms at some point. So you're already using a toilet that, has been occupied and, I pray has been cleaned properly. That's what I'd be concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been mortified as a dad to just see his son's huge number 2, where it shouldn't be that. And I've had similar experiences, Trent, as a father, as you so eloquently put earlier in the show. I am a doggy dad, and there were a couple of incidents. I remember one in a Petco. Petco, of course, is a friendly pet establishment, Trent. And I took the Freya.
Hence the term Petco.
Right. Right. Yeah, it would be weird if it was called Petco and they didn't let animals in. It would be a little weird.
Yeah.
But we brought Freya to Petco, and what happened? What happened when we brought Freya to Petco? She peed all, an ocean. It wasn't even a normal pee. This was like an ocean of yellow dog urine in the middle of aisle 3 at Petco. But we had that experience. I remember one time I was with Freya in Home Depot, just walking through the garden section, and she starts getting into the poop position. And you see that thing start to, and no, Freya! And we sprint toward the exit. It was one of the funniest things you ever seen. And you know what? But she was smart enough. She sprinted with me, and as soon as she got outside, just started letting it go. It was happening. Man. But, as a father, now that was a dog. This guy has a human child, so I don't know what to say about that. It's a little different, but hey,
man.
What can I say?
Human child. Well.
Yeah, human child. Ugh. Trent's more into the non-human children,
No, yeah.
He said human child. Blah.
Human child. Ugh. Just thinking about it, going, number 2, and oh man, everybody does it, but like I don't want to see it. I really don't want to be a part of it.
Well, if you're there, you're going to smell it, which is probably worse.
Believe it or not, I will have to give you a little bit of tidbit of information. I do not smell. I don't have a sense of smell, believe it or not.
What?
No, I never have.
Wow.
So
well, that's a benefit in that situation. Then you can't smell poop.
Yeah, and it's also a benefit, whenever I'm near you, you have body odor.
Well, that's true. Now I know I'm not going to try so hard around you. At least.
Yeah, you said that you weren't going to be available because you were washing your hair. Well, I can't smell your hair, so if you have, if you stink around me, I pray for the other people around you.
Yeah, other people can, Trent. It's not all about you, Trent. Other people can smell it.
I know, but I'm saying if you and I were just kind of hanging out, outside doing our thing, kind of hanging out, watching sports, whatever, and I happen to, I wouldn't get a whiff of your bad BO if you, had it or something, and it's crazy. But speaking of BO, like I always hated it when other people would tell me they were in public, or if they were in a meeting with somebody, or if they were in class with somebody that they had. My granddad always has stories all the time. He's like, yeah, man, this kid had bad BO whenever I had him in class and everything. And I was like, okay, why are you telling me this? And he said, well, it's a lesson to not have BO. And I said, okay, I'll do the best I can.
I don't even want to know. It's like I don't want to know about the bad BO, Dad. Why are you telling me
this? Like Granddad, I appreciate you, but why are you telling me about this? I don't want to know. I really don't care.
Well, so, speaking of dads and grand, one more thing here, Trent. You brought up Father's Day and Father's Day weekend. I have the best dad jokes of all time. That's a good bet. It seems like a lot of them always center around pulling the finger and the smelly farts and that nature, right? Those are a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Here are some corny ones. How about this one? I'll just go through a couple real quick. What do you call a pudgy psychic? A fortune teller. Ha! Think of that one. Laugh. That didn't get you? That didn't tickle your funny, Trent?
That's so funny.
All right, that almost was convincing, Trent.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, it's a fortune teller. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty good, huh?
All right, what else you got?
Let's see. What dad jokes? How about this one? What do you call a naughty lamb dressed up like a skeleton for Halloween?
What's that?
Bad to the bone.
Oh my God.
Trent was reaction. He was insulted by that one. He was like, "It is so bad. How could you?"
Yeah, that's so bad. So and the reason I laugh at these is because some of them are so stupid. They're just funny at the same time. I mean, they really are.
Well, Trent, my boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's classic right there.
Yeah.
If my boss told me that, hey, okay, have a good day. All right, I'm leaving the office. Bye. Have a great day. I'm out of here. See ya.
Hey, this is a good one, Trent. Can you get this one? This is almost like a riddle, but it's a joke. What kind of car does a sheep like to drive?
Oh, boy.
You're a car guy. What kind of a car does a sheep like to drive?
A bad Mustang?
A bad Mustang?
Yeah.
That is maybe the best guess of all time, but no, not a bad Mustang. That's a good one. Obviously, Trent, a sheep likes to drive a Lamborghini.
Oh, that's funny. So it could be a bad Lamborghini.
That's true. Yeah, you can get that in there. All right, what you got?
Okay, well, yeah. Speaking of, we moved from cars to trucks because a trucker was so terrified by a ghostly stowaway spotted clinging to his vehicle whenever he was driving through Argentina.
A ghostly stowaway?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was spotted clinging to his vehicle driving through Argentina, who later vanished into thin air. He drove another 80 miles to skip town. And the driver was at the head of a convoy passing through Argentina's Cordoba. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing that name because my screen reading software mispronounced it. So I had to. Sorry.
You're calling me a diva, Trent? All I heard was, Rich, you're a diva. And I was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Of course I am. I thought you knew that.
Passing through a province in Argentina when he saw the woman standing at the side of the road. As he checked his mirrors, the apparition had disappeared. Concerned, he called back to his other drivers and was alarmed when he was told she was holding onto the back of his rig. Moments later, the mysterious vision disappeared. The convoy were so spooked they decided to skip their plans to sleep overnight in a nearby hotel. The sandals were they were standing all. I'm sorry. I was reading an ad. My bad.
I had my phone ready. It was a convincing ad. I'm just saying.
No,
buy something.
Instead, they put their foot down and drove on for another 100 kilometers before finally stopping, according to local media. So the ghost woman was seen at the side of the road by the driver, and there's a picture of him here. And Let's see.
So,
She clung on for a number of miles before finally vanishing, and she was never seen again. Can you believe that?
of course, it was a ghost. She was obviously haunting these guys on a truck for some reason. I don't know why. But, hey, what do you question this, Trent? Or what is it about this story that really that you felt like I had to do this story? What fascinated you about it? You don't believe in ghosts?
I mean,
you don't buy it?
Yeah, it made me think of the time where I was at the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. People always talk about how that place is haunted. I mean, it really is.
Was it?
A lot of times. Yeah, I can believe that.
Give me a ghost. What was your ghost sighting? A paranormal experience? What do you got?
So I was using one of those Braille writers. You know how I mean, you should probably know this, but those typewriters that they had back in the 70s.
Damn, what is he just trying to say? I'm old. Did you hear this guy? He said you should probably know this.
You should probably know this.
You know the keyboards for computers? They used to be hooked up to ink, bro. It wasn't always a screen. It was weird.
Yeah,
I know you know about that shit. Next thing, Rich, before there were lights, people would have a wick and some wax. They called them candles. I know you know about candles. A lot of people don't actually know about candles and stuff like that. Before, people used to use phones and stuff like that. People would you know about this, but people would communicate with smoke. They'd light a fire and the smoke would go, and that's how they would communicate with each other. But you knew about that already, didn't you, Rich?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you knew about that. You could predict the future.
Not insulting at all, Trent.
I know. But that's what I'm here for. I have to get at least one dig in per show. A lot of time. I think I'm on a roll, though. I've already gotten like 2 or 3. So
yeah, I do know about that, though, Trent. You're right.
We're rocking and rolling. It makes the show. People have told me that, I love your digs at Rich. Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. But anyway, they call them the Perkins Brailler. So it's basically like a typewriter that you had to like push the keys down as hard as you possibly could, and there were different key combinations because I read Braille because obviously I can't see, but so I read Braille, and there was one time where I was in the middle of typing and all of a sudden the keys wouldn't push down properly. So like it was just all of a sudden it just like stopped, and I looked and I was like, somebody's got to be playing a trick on me. Somebody's got to be sticking their hand, where the keys, like on the area where, the keys are kind of pushed down and kind of stopping them, kind of playing interference just to mess with me or something. No, there was nobody there. I felt it several times, unless they absolutely snatched their hand away. I could not tell that there was a person standing there. And I'm like, people have told me that this place is haunted, and yeah, apparently it is.
And you felt it. Was this something that happened early in the day or nighttime?
Yeah, it was early. I was doing homework, so it was weird. It was a weird time. It's like 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And would you say that how old do you think that equipment is that they use there, that type of typewriter?
It had to have been, at that time, it had to have been about 10, 15 years old.
Okay, all right. Because sometimes, Trent, the older things they may hold residual psychic energies from the users that predated you. And perhaps not an apparition, but you experienced a time lapse. 2 times existing in one place and one time. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Damn, that movie was great. I'm going to talk about it later, but I think that's what you experienced, Trent.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear you talk about it, for sure.
It makes total sense if you saw the movie, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Anyway, That's cool, man. That's cool. So you ain't afraid of no ghosts. That's what I take from that.
Nah, I'm not afraid of no ghosts.
You're not afraid of no. That's cool. You're afraid of being abducted by aliens, I think. When you
definitely.
Who's not afraid of that? Haven't you heard about the anal probes? Nobody wants to deal with that. I don't want to deal with anal probes. Come on, man. Imagine you imagine, because that's what these people say, through regression therapy, I think they call it, hypnosis. And you go back to the moment your mind was wiped, the memory, but then you remember the anal probe. Oh, the horror. Nobody wants that.
Oh, the horror. Yep.
Nobody wants anything like that. So, Trent, you ever get on an elevator and smell urine?
Well, I don't smell, like I said, but I mean,
that
see,
whole bit doesn't work now.
No, but I can tell when there is a feel. I can tell when the air is dirty. And yes, I've been on the elevator. I've been on a elevator. I don't like elevators too much. I mean, I can do them, but so some of them, I hate when the elevators are so crowded that you can't even feel yourself breathe hardly. I mean, it's just like, so, I mean, you get people in there, that's when you wouldn't want to be riding on the elevator with somebody who had bad BO. Because if you did, it's just awful.
Well, one of the issues you run into living in a big city, like I remember in New York, sometime you get on an elevator and it smells like piss. You're like, oh, shit, that sucks. Somebody peed in here. Or you go down into the subway and you smell pee. It's terrible. Well, guess what, Trent? They're trying to solve that problem in Boston.
Why in Boston?
Because it's shit town. We talked about it earlier.
That's right.
Oh, we didn't talk about that on the air. Nobody's supposed to know that's how I feel. Never mind. Total different conversation. No, he's Beantown, Shittown. The MBTA, which services Boston and the surrounding area, is launching a pilot program this summer in which urine detection sensors will be placed in 4 downtown elevators. The sensors alert transit ambassadors who can dispatch a cleaning crew, the Boston Herald reported. The sensors on the ceiling of an elevator have an attached fan which allows them to suck in air, just like your nose, and basically smell what is present. And if pee is present, they're going to know about it and, I guess assume dispatch a cleaning crew or something, because what else can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, what other action can be taken there, Trent?
I don't know of any. It just, I don't know of any other action that can be taken.
Yeah, that's kind of how I weird. Felt. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
We'll see. But anyway.
Anything else from you, Trent? Any other stories?
I do. I got one more here.
Right.
My it says a woman was left feeling baffled by her fiance after he asked to take credit for buying their house in their wedding speech, even though that she contributed most of the money for it. Can you believe this?
What a horrible story.
Yeah, she's not happy about it. And then there's like a photo of them. Like my phone just read it. It's kind of like said, angry couple.
Angry couple. But Trent, so wait a second. So he took credit completely for buying the house, and she's like, hold on a second.
Absolutely. He took complete credit for it when in reality she contributed. It didn't say if she contributed 50-50. I haven't read I read the story a couple times. I don't remember it saying that it was a 50-50 deal or, 75-25. I don't know what the ratio of contribution was, but it didn't sound.
I wonder if it sounds like something, Trent, that if you're there, maybe it could be misconstrued. He's giving a speech or he's talking to a bunch of people and he's like, I bought a house and we're married and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't necessarily mean I did. He meant we, but instead he said I, and then she heard it and got pissed off about it. But
kind of like what you do, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I always misspeak. It's basically my language to say things I don't mean. Don't you know?
I know.
No, but
I can tell you said it to my face too.
Oh yeah.
And you made me lose eons and eons of sleep.
Yeah. I'm sorry about it, but sometimes I just I've been told, Trent, I have diarrhea of the mouth, and sometimes you can't control what comes out of there. Okay.
I know. I'd buy it. But
it's like I've been there.
I've been there. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Anyway, during a groom's speech, the guests are often left in barrels of laughter, with the bride shedding a few tears, as she expresses his love for her and what have you. However, for this particular speech, a man left his wife to be confused and upset, his worst nightmare, asking him if he could claim single-handedly that he bought their house.
So was it over right there? He's can you? Yeah, because that's what I'm asking. I'm like, well, does he go in there and he's like, well, I bought a house and now I'm married. I'm so happy. Or did he, specifically, like you say, go in front of everybody and say, I single-handedly, all by myself, with my money and only my, was he that specific?
No, it's she here, I'm about to read what she wrote down here. So
Okay.
It says she wrote, my fiance 37 and 33, the man's 37 and the female is 33 years of age, so they're relatively young people. Got engaged a few months ago. We're getting married soon and invitations were already sent out. Well, come on, ads, quit coming up. We've also been busy moving into a new home that we purchased together. 30% of his savings plus 70% of mine. So basically what it's saying is he contributed 30%, but she contributed 70%.
Wow.
So basically she got the raw end of the deal to begin with. I have to say that saving up for this house took most of my savings and prevented most of me from enjoying most of the things that I spent my money on. So and then she went on to drop a bombshell in her what is Reddit? Like, do you ever use Reddit, Rich? It's like
social media thing, social media platform.
My fiance sat me down yesterday.
You just made me look young, Trent, before you were calling me old. And here's well, Sonny Boy Rich, what is this Reddit thing these kids are talking about these days? It's like Trent's the 60-year-old on the show. I've never heard of this Reddit. I only have a MySpace account.
No, I've never had a MySpace. It seems like Facebook is becoming more and more obsolete. A lot of people are using the TikToks and the Twitter.
I use TikTok. I'm quite the mover, Trent. I'm a big time dancer.
How many TikTok followers do you have? Just yourself?
I haven't checked recently, but I mean that thing is good, dude. You got to see my moves. It's people are noticing, I think. Or they're just laughing, but it's still, I appreciate the support.
Oh yeah, so that's good. And then she said that she didn't feel comfortable with the idea because she thinks that it's unfair not to acknowledge that I'd sacrificed so much of my funds to buy this house.
Oh,
and
that poor woman. Did she forgive him?
Yeah. He got mad at me and said that she was really overthinking it and made a big deal out of it. So apparently, they got into an argument and he started yelling, saying it's just one favor he's asking her to do, and yet she's making it ridiculous small request. Oh. So basically, it's racked up 1,400 comments on Reddit, that post that she made, with users concerned about her partner's behavior. So it doesn't say if the marriage is off. Doesn't sound like it was on when it started. But it
doesn't sound like a very good relationship to me.
It doesn't.
It's not meant to be.
That's what I got anyway. Yeah. So that's a couple of interesting stories there from yours truly about about all the marriages and what have you.
Yeah, all of these marriages. Oh, my goodness, people got to get pull themselves together. That's
I know, especially
ridiculous.
This couple. My word.
I love this headline, Trent. How about never play video games on the toilet again? Snake bites Malaysian man on the butt. As he plays a video game.
A literal biting of the butt.
On the butt as he plays a video game during toilet time. Is that what you call it? I usually just say, that's the headline. I usually just say, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to take a shit. I never say it's toilet time.
Yeah, I whenever I go to the bathroom, I always say I'm going to take a Rich.
That was a dad joke, Trent. Come on, man.
I know. That was so bad. That was a dad joke. You're right about that. I had to get one in there.
Yeah, I'm taking a Rich. Sometimes, but I never. That's fine. But I never say it's toilet time. You know,
No, I never say that either.
Even taking a rich, you know, is better than toilet time, because I've never heard that, you know. But a 28-year-old's unwavering habit of playing mobile games while using the toilet was interrupted when a snake bit him on the buttocks. This Malaysian man had been sitting on the toilet playing games on his phone when the snake struck him. Now, here's my favorite part of the story, Trent.
Uh-huh.
He found out 2 weeks later that the reptile had left behind teeth fragments in his buttocks after he yanked the snake away during the encounter in his house. So basically, this dude pulled the snake off his ass, and it took him 2 weeks to realize there's some snake teeth in my butt. How does that take 2 weeks to figure out, to realize?
I don't know. I mean, you would suspect that you'd be able to feel it down there.
I mean, dude,
think.
If I was playing video games on the toilet, I'll tell you right now, and a snake went up and bit my butt, I would have ultra examined my butt. I mean, that examination would have been in depth, okay, to ensure everything was okay. And I spend a lot of time sitting on my butt. So I find it hard to believe that it would take 2 weeks to realize there are some teeth stuck in my butt cheeks. No way that would take 2 weeks.
Dude, it just sounds like it hurts so bad. It really does. You know, it sounds like it's, yeah. But my thing is, like, I'm still befuddled because I don't know how you could, I mean, like, you would feel that pain. You know, I can barely even feel, you know, like, for example, like if I looked at a sculpture of like an animal with like sharp teeth, I could barely even feel the sculpture just because the teeth are so sharp on that. It's tough to deal with. It really is.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. But anyway, apparently that's a true story out of Malaysia. And finally, Trent, for the news here today, are you a fan of Post Malone?
Oh yeah, I like that song. I like that song One Right Now. Let's see, there's one. So many other great ones. His latest one is called One Right Now. With the with the Weeknd.
Oh yeah, he's got that. Yep. That one's out there. That's pretty cool. And Circle, right? Circles. That's another big.
Oh yeah,
Post Malone song. Yep. He's got a bunch of hits out. But he was on the Howard Stern show this past.
Oh yeah.
week. And he had an interesting fact for Howard, and it was a pretty good interview. He was, one of those. He actually, you ever heard the Pearl Jam song "Better Man," Trent?
Yeah.
He covered "Better Man," which was pretty awesome, and he did a new song. He did a song off of his new album, which was really good too. So worth checking out. But the interview. And he revealed how about this, Trent? This is incredible. Post Malone, he writes 60% of his lyrics on the toilet.
Really?
And he goes on to say, I'd say a percent of all of my albums have been written on the shitter. So 30% of the albums and 60% of his lyrics are taking a shit. I know why. I did time artist, a musician. I don't write while I'm on the toilet. I'm way better if spending that time. Now, Howard did tell him, young man, when he gets older, it's a hemorrhoid problem. So think about going forward. But hey, point. Regardless, all the number one hits, millions.
I mean, you'd rather have a couple of pain for a couple of days, or would you rather have millions and millions of dollars? I mean, if you had millions, I'm sure there's an infinite number of things that you would want to do, right?
Oh, of course. And there's no doubt. You spend that much time on the toilet, you might get snake teeth in your butt cheeks. You know, it's
yeah.
there are just so many dangers associated with spending that much time on the toilet. So, anyway, that